Chapter 5. How to write the introduction. Lead in. A good introduction is supposed to first present, with all possible clarity, the nature and scope of the problem investigated, briefly review the relevant literature to orient the reader, state the method of the investigation, state the principal results and conclusions suggested by results. Objectives. Know the three moves used in the introduction. Learn to occupy the niche. That is, a need or a gap in knowledge. Improve the variety of sentence structures. Tasks. The sample reading is taken from the introduction section of a journal paper entitled Soft Capacitors for Wave Energy Harvesting. Read the 2 paragraphs and then answer the questions based on what you have learned in Chapter 4. Questions. How many critic expressions, Chapter 4, can you find in the passage? Underline or highlight them. Number 2. Look back at Chapter 4. Are these phrases strongly negative or slightly negative? Number 3. What word signals the shift from reviewing the previous research to indicating the gap in it? What other words or expressions could also indicate this shift? Number 4. Can you anticipate what next paragraph will do? Question 1. At the end of the second paragraph, the authors indicate the gap in the previous research by raising a question. Although the method is simple and proven, it is still not clear to what extent the approach is practically useful. Question 2. These phrases are slightly negative because they show the previous research on the method or approach is not complete yet. Question 3. The signal word is although. Words or expressions such as still and not could also indicate this shift. Question 4. Next paragraph may propose a new approach or device used for wave energy harvesting. Key points. John Ames Wells, in his Create a Research Space (CARS) model of research writing, established the general pattern of 3 actions. He calls them moves in the introduction section. Move 1 is establishing a research territory. Move 2 is establishing a niche. Move 3 is occupying the niche. The term niche here means a gap, an evident opportunity or need which the researcher's work can fulfill. The items in each move are either optional or obligatory. Take Move 1 for example. In Move 1, the author must establish the research territory by introducing and reviewing the previous research in the area. But the author can choose whether or not to show the significance of the general research area. In Move 3, the author must occupy the niche, namely, fill the gap, by outlining purposes or stating the nature of the present research, while other items from B to E are all optional. Now, let's make a further study of Move 3. Number 2. Move 3. Occupying the niche. The third and final step in the typical research paper introduction is to make a proposal to fulfill the gap, or answer the question, that has been created in Move 2. The first element in Move 3 is obligatory. It has two main variants. The first, purposive. The author or authors indicate their main purpose or purposes. The second, descriptive. The author or authors describe the main feature of their research. Note the Move 3 is typically signaled by some words in reference to the present text, such as the uses of this, the present, reported. These signals come early in the sentence. If the conventions of the field or journal allow it, it is also common for the authors to switch from the impersonal to the personal by using we, or more rarely, I. These signals come early in the sentence. The purpose of this paper is to, or the purpose of this present paper is to. In this paper, we present the results of 3 experiments. It is more usual than we present the results of 3 experiments in this paper. Got it? That is why we say the signal words come early in the sentence. Read the third paragraph in the introduction of soft capacitors for wave energy harvesting and see how it occupies the niche. Answer. The paragraph is an example of Move 3. It states both the features 3A and value 3D of the minimal yet realistic model. It includes those sentences such as, a model is proposed that, the model also includes that, and the quality of is characterized by. The sentences are descriptive. Language focus. Variety in sentences. Notice a good variety of sentence structures in the paragraph above, written by Martin. Sentences can vary in length, structure, and complexity. As you revise, vary your sentences so that they do not become tiresomely alike. You can vary sentence opening, prepositional phrases, infinitive phrases, dependent clauses, adverbs, and so on. Use a variety of sentence structure. Avoid repetition of words. For example, it would be a bad habit of using phrases. It has been noted. Now note. Scholar has already noted again and again. The varieties of sentences differ a great deal between disciplines. For example, papers in the humanities may have more conversational types of sentences than engineering. A good strategy is, as you read the secondary literature, to look at how established scholars write and thus provide examples of potential sentence structure. But above all, the logical and concise, making sure ideas follow each other in a rational order, and that there are not too many superfluous expressions. Examples: the American punk rock songs of the early 1980s were musicians' way of expressing their criticism of the political establishment. You may start the sentence with an infinitive phrase. To express their criticism of the political establishment, punk rock musicians of the early 1980s wrote protest songs. This part of the exhibit also features variable center distance in order to view the changes in stress concentration as center distance changes. In this example, the whole sentence can be started with an adverb additionally, and a coordinating conjunction so is used to connect the two independent clauses. Additionally, the exhibit shows variable center distance, so we can see how the stress concentrations change as the center distance changes. Summary: your introduction needs to follow the 3 moves. Above all, it should emphasize what is new and different about your approach. It should also demonstrate the overall significance of your research hour approach by explaining how it fills a need, solves a current problem, or offers a useful application. To avoid lapsing into redundant patterns of sentences, or beginning with subject followed by verb, you need to improve sentence varieties.